Hello there, my fellow Holotable heroes, and welcome to another roster review. Guess what? It's the return of my favorite guild, it seems, OG Feast of the Empire. Huge shout out to them. We have another roster review from their guild, and also give a shout out to today's Holotable hero, the Seeger. Not sure, obviously, what language this is, so how I should pronounce it. So apologies if I butchered the name a bit. So as always, we will kind of go through the roster a little bit, just go through the factions they should be working. I think they should be working on next. But first off, let's just give you a quick kind of brief of the notes that they've given me of what they're looking for to get out of this review. So they said that they just finished Bo-Katan's journey as well as Balin, which is good, you know. I had a look, they pretty much now have all the legendaries unlocked, I think, including Jar Jar. I think they're just missing Afra, which I can't blame them. Afra is not getting a whole lot done these days. And then, of course, they don't have Jedi Master Mace Windu because I think his requirements are not, I guess, accelerated yet. So they've been, you know, keeping on top of the legendaries pretty much. But they've been falling behind a little bit maybe on some other things, so they're kind of looking for now what to work on next. And that's what they're looking for, what to work on next. They're thinking, should they first kind of finish off teams for Bo, Great Mothers, Balin, so you know they have these units unlocked, they just maybe need to complete their teams, or they should be going after next Galactic Legends, maybe Jabba or something, or going after a new capital ship. They also have some older teams they didn't work on yet, like General Skywalker, Troopers, Zori Finn Resistance Squad, and so on. So they don't really know if these old teams are worth doing or not, and I guess we'll be discussing that. And then also maybe some teams for ships. They don't enjoy ships as much as characters. I mean, I can't blame them, to be honest. Ships are more of like an afterthought. What it's been like 2 years since Leviathan was launched, so we're kind of really starving for new capital ships at this point. Yeah, we had, you know, the Rogue One and what is it, B-Wing, shaking up a little bit the meta, but still, because of another buff to Leviathan, like Leviathan at the moment is the only ship I think without a hard counter, so it's still kind of the best one out there. And of course they did say that they've been a little bit having a bit tougher times in Fleet Arena after Rogue One has been launched, because they only have Executor, spoiler alert, from Capital Ship, and yeah, Executor can be a bit of a struggle definitely versus Profundity and Rogue One. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and check out their roster just to see exactly what they work with. So they do have 3 GLs, so they got Sith Eternal, Leia, and Master Luke as well. They're just over 8 mil GP, that's not bad. Again, as you can see, they do have some other characters up and running. As mentioned before, they got Balin. Also in terms of conquest units, as mentioned before, they got here Bo as well. They got Great Mother, so they've been, you know, keeping pretty much on top with all the conquest units as well. They do have here Queen Amidala, they have Bane as well, so, you know, they're doing pretty good job on staying on top of things, I guess, except with ships, because they don't enjoy them as much. So speaking of ships, the lone capital ship they do have from the, you know, GL capital ships is Executor, and after Rogue One was launched, Executor is probably now the weakest GL capital ship, if you will, whereas Profundity is kind of a step above, and then Leviathan is still top of the meta, like without serious hard counter because of all the buffs he's been getting. So they did say they're kind of struggling a little bit, as mentioned before, with the Fleet Arena, so I would definitely highly recommend to make Leviathan their top priority. Over Profundity. Again, there's more benefit to that, and also looking at the roster, it's not like they're closer to Profundity than they are to Leviathan. The important thing is this is the hardest bit of Leviathan, right? The Fury class Interceptor and Malgus, they're both conquest units. They have this sorted out, so I think the next thing they should be working on is Leviathan. However, they still have quite a bit of work to do to farm up all the Civ ships that are required to unlock Leviathan. So while they'll be doing that, they'll have plenty of time to just fill out some of the other teams that they're missing, and that's what we'll be discussing now when we hop over to the characters. So they did mention, should they be working on gas? I mean, yes, it's not a bad team. Like, it can get the job done a lot in Grand Arena. The reason why I feel like it shouldn't be too much a priority for them right now is because obviously they will have to sacrifice the get currency to get Skywalker to 7 stars still. But also from Grand Arena perspective, yes, while they can beat stuff, they're not very banner effective because they have no ways of protection recovery, and if you put them on defense, CLS can easily handle them. So definitely I don't think they should be at the moment worrying about General Skywalker too much, at least in my opinion. Then let's have a look, I guess, at the droids. Something that they can be working on is we obviously need HK and Sortie as well to start working on them for the Leviathan unlock. HK, I think Relic 7, I believe, and then Sortie Relic 5, if I'm not mistaken. So the 2 droids I would recommend they work on. Then Empire. I did say they have most legendaries unlocked, but they don't have Starkiller. And Starkiller is, you know, such a, I guess, essential unit to have unlocked. So let's work on Mara. They did mention should they be working on Imperial Troopers. Now, while they do obviously have Piet, Veers, and Stark from the Sith Eternal farm, they don't have the rest of the Troopers yet done. And Troopers, again, lately they haven't been doing a whole much. They're a good squad, but again, I wouldn't prioritize them over some of the other things that we'll be discussing later. So, you know, I'll just kind of keep away from Troopers for the time being. Now, Galactic Republic, one thing to know, they do have is Commander Ahsoka Tano, which means they could be starting to work on Jedi Master Kenobi requirements. So in terms of GL farm, that's what I would suggest to go first, because I had a look at the, you know, their Hut Cartel, like in terms of, you know, are they closer to Jabba or Kenobi, and they've got a lot of work still to do on Hut Cartel as well. So it seems like they have Galactic Republic more developed, so I think it's going to be easier to get Kenobi before Jabba. So in terms of GL farms, I would steer them towards Kenobi because they do have Ahsoka Tano already there. Let's have a look at their Jedi as well, what we can work on here. Again, they've got the core Jedi squad lined up, which is very good. Obviously, we'll have to work on Basti for the Leviathan unlock here. Then they do have Bow unlocked, which is good. So they have the core 4, Beskar, Bow, Paz, and IG. So let's just get Bo-Katan as well, the OG Bo-Katan up and running, because while she doesn't like bring a whole lot to this squad, what she does bring is banner recovery. So without Bow, you will struggle to get, you know, full banner wins in Grand Arena or Territory Wars. With Bow in there, with so much protection and health recovery, you usually always win with a full banner. So definitely I would put Bow on their radar to get to complete their Bo-Katan squad. And Mercs, again, did they have the core, right? You got Baylan, you got Sheen, you got Marok, right? Because they're required to unlock Baylan. So what to do with the remaining openings? Well, we need 2 more. So because I'm suggesting farming Starkiller next as the next legendary, you will need Dash. So that's your 4th mercenary you can put in there. And then I would suggest OG Hondo as well. It will help with the raid, especially obviously once this Relic Delta drops in. You get a Hondo to like Relic 5, and then you'll be able probably to easily solo, you know, the first 2 tiers, maybe even the 3rd tier, depending on how Relic Delta will affect. So boost as well their raid score, and obviously having Hondo there with his Omicron on Baylan's squad is definitely a little bit trickier than without Hondo. So this is what I would suggest these 2 units to complete their Baylan's squad to work on. And let's have a look at the Night Sisters. They did mention their Grandmother squad. So they have obviously Great Mothers and Morgan from the Baylan farm, which is great. So let's just go ahead and complete this squad as well by farming up Marine, Night Trooper, and Death Trooper. That's what I would at least recommend to complete the Marine squad. Yes, Spirit is great, but I feel like Marine is a bit more annoying if you do put this squad on defense. However, if you're looking for more offense, then maybe Spirit over Marine, but since they have Omicron already on Marine, might as well use Marine. And of course, if they do get Marine up and running, they'll be able as well in territory battles to complete Dathomir special mission as well. So that's why I would recommend these 3 to complete their Great Mothers squad. Now, Rebel Fighters. they have Luthen, and we know Luthen is pretty good. Like, it allows to do a lot of things, especially with Mothma. So I was debating here whether they should build up their Mothma squad or Saw. In the end, I kind of lean towards Saw, because Saw does have a special mission in territories as well on Kashyyyk, and it's a bit more annoying on defense. So yeah, let's get Saw up and running. Luthen, you then chuck in Captain Rex in there, right, with his Omicron. We need Kyle again for the Starkiller farms. Anyways, then the 5th slot, I guess, is the one that's up for debate what you want to do with it. Maybe throw in Base, because he's annoying with his pre-taunt. But I guess you could go cheered either way, because they don't really have core pieces as well for Mothma. They do have Mothma, so in case they did go for a Mothma squad, they had to get Scout and Pow and Kyle and Luthen. So I guess it's really kind of, debatable which squad is better. Seems like Mothma is a bit better, a little bit on offense. Can maybe take down some Galactic Legends, but Saw is a bit more annoying on defense for sure with his Omicron. So definitely would suggest to either pick Saw or Mothma. I suggest Saw, but if they feel more like they want to go for Mothma, that's fine as well. But you've got Luthen unlocked, so let's go ahead and make use of him. His Omicron and Saw's Omicron and Captain X's Omicron is a very, very solid Grand Arena squad. And finally, we have to talk about Sith because of the Leviathan farm. Again, they've got Balin, amazing. So what I would do here is get Talon. She's not a part of the Leviathan farm, but they've got Omicron on her, so might as well get her up, relic up, to boost your Traya squad, especially with Relic Delta coming, right? You will want to have a fully Relic Traya squad, and her Omicron, well, not that, groundbreaking, it still can help a little bit. And Talon as well is needed for Starkiller anyways, right? So you want to work on her, get her to Relic 5 for Starkiller and complete your Traya. And then yes, we do have all the Leviathan units like Sith Trooper, Sith Empire Trooper, Sith Assassin. I believe who else we need. They've got Sith Marauder already, so they need to just push Malak. And well, Malak is okay at, I guess, at Relic 9. Sorry, Malgus is okay at Relic 7. And we need Revan to Relic 9 and Malak to Relic 9 to complete the Leviathan farm. So this kind of is the roster, what I think they should be working on next. So as always, in my roster views, I did put together a visual plan, so we can go ahead and check it out and see how that looks like. So in terms of farming shards, let's just get on that Leviathan farm straight away, because especially ships, you don't get double drops, so they will take a few months to farm. So that's why I suggest in terms of farming, start farming Leviathan stuff, and then we can work as well in between on Starkiller requirements. They need to farm up Mara, Dash, as well as Kyle to 7 stars. Then also Base, they need to farm up to 7 stars to complete their Rebel Fighter squad. And then as well, the Night Trooper, they don't have at 7 stars yet, so let's farm this guy up as well. So that's in terms of farming priorities, mostly Leviathan and Starkiller farm, and just completing some of the other squads with a unit here and there. In terms of gearing, as mentioned, let's just get Bo as number 1 priority up and running, so you complete your Bo-Katan squad Mandalorians, so you benefit from health and protection recovery for max banner wins there. And then we're just going to sprinkle in the Leviathan gearing up, and then obviously Hondo to complete your Merc squad, Night Sister squads, complete them as well, your Rebel Fighters. And at this point, you are kind of good in place in terms of gearing those core squads you should be working on first. And that's why I started putting here Ahsoka and the Galactic Republic squads, just to start prepping up for Jedi Master Kenobi farm. Afterwards, you complete these initial set of units and teams that I suggest. And then to the relicking again, mostly, Leviathan, relicking. And then all these units you gear up, obviously you do want to relic them as well. And again, towards the end, again, start working on Galactic Republic squads, just prepping up for Jedi Master Kenobi unlocked. So in terms of milestones, obviously we will be completing your Bow squad here right at the beginning. Then we'll be completing your Mercenary squad with Hondo and Dash. We'll get Rebel Fighters up and running, so either I put Saw in there, but again, if you prefer Mothma squad, you can build that up as well. Like I wouldn't be mad about it. and then obviously we get Leviathan unlocked, and then finally in the end obviously we will be unlocking Starkiller as well. So a very well-rounded roster, just needs again another capital ship, which I think is Leviathan, just filling up, as mentioned before, some of the other squads like they kind of were thinking as well. And then in terms of legendaries, working on Starkiller, and after you finish with Leviathan, Starkiller, start working on Jedi Master Kenobi, and obviously after that, who knows what's gonna happen within this game update, how economy and farming will change going forward. Alright, and that's all for today's review. Hopefully it was useful and helpful, just, you know, looking at somebody else's roster, where they're at, and what I think they should be working on next. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, and enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.